Hello everyone, Lynette here at Homesteading on the Home Front. I believe that this is episode 51. Might have lost track, but anyway, it is October 24th, 2019. A lovely Thursday morning. I had a few minutes before I need to run out the door, and so I decided kind of last minute to do this Flosstube because I knew it probably would not get done next week. So, a few things to talk about. It's not going to be a long video, just enough to say hello and show you what I've been up to. This little one here is scampering around today, so if you hear her or see her, you'll know what the noise is. I was all set up at the dining room table like I normally am, and then realized the dishwasher was running and the noise was going to be an issue, and I have no idea how to pause the thing. So I just moved here into the living room. Okay, I have some FFOs. I have 3 of them, but I can only show you 2. Because miracle of all miracles happened, and I FFO'd my small for the Frugal Empire. It's all done, and there's still like 3 weeks left before the retreat. That never happens. I'm always doing it last minute, so it felt really good to have it done. I will take pictures and hope to take a video of the smalls exchanges at the retreat itself, so hopefully you'll see it then. My next FFO, you've seen the stitch, but this is the FFO. This is Harvest Chockfull by Kathy at Hands On Design and Priscilla's Chalk Work. I had finished it a while ago and decided that I needed to get it all done so that I could actually hang it on the wall before harvest season officially ends. This was not at all the finish that I had planned for this piece, but I talked before how I initially wanted to do it on smaller count, or larger count, so that the design would be smaller. But that didn't work out. So this is what we have. Basically, this is a thrifted cutting board. I think I paid $1 for it. I threw some chalk paint on it. Did this on magnets so that I can take it out and, put another design on there if I want to. I attached the bow with some, I don't think you'll be able to see, but some big old glue dots that I had left over from my paper crafting days, which is also where the flower and the eyelet came from. So this hangs in the kitchen, and I am loving it. Love how it came out, even though it's not how I thought it would. And then also along the harvest theme, you've seen this stitched, but now it is stretched and in the frame. This is With Thy Needle and Thread, Autumn's Fruitful Bounty, or Autumn's Fruitful Labor. I always call it the wrong thing. Here it is. The frame I had, and I actually adjusted, if you can see up here, this border up here and down here is a little different than charted, just because I needed it to fit in this frame. The frame was very gold, and I didn't really like it, so I took some brown chalk paint and went over it, and it's still more gold than I want it, so I may just have to paint the whole thing brown. But there it is. I did make some other changes. I don't know if I talked about this in previous videos, but you know how I like things to be symmetrical. So I think there was supposed to be a bird in this row that I took out, and then I centered the birds here down at the bottom. And then the top borders I changed. And I think that was the only thing I changed as far as the design goes. Colors are an assortment of Called For and Victorian Motto. Yeah, I really like how it came out. And it's hanging by the front door, so I see it all the time. Okay, and then I have my whips. If you watched Amy over at Gable Stitches, she talked about our meetup on Tuesday. We all met at a Panera. It took me just under an hour to get there. There were 6 of us. There was Amy and Deb, who we met at StitchCon, and Ellen, who came to Frugal Yankee last year, and myself, and then a new stitcher, Joanne. So special hello to Joanne. I'm so glad that you came out and joined us. This was her first Stitchy meetup, and so hopefully the first of many. So we had such a good time, and I've just decided, you guys, I had such FOMO with the Midwest retreat. Between the fact that it was Brenda Gervais and everyone seemed to be there. Yeah, I had a big case of FOMO on that one. So I decided that we New England Stitchers need to be better about getting together. And so I made a Facebook page. I will link it below in the box. To just post New England area meetups. So I would urge you, if you are in the New England area, to join the page. But don't stop there. Pick a day, whether it's a weekday or a weekend. Find a Panera or a church hall to rent or an Elks hall to rent. Like, it doesn't have to be expensive. Panera is free. And just post that you're going to be there stitching, and people will come and join you, because stitchers in this area are hungry for meetups, and there's just not enough of them. So yeah, please join the page and host meetups and attend meetups. Weekends are bad for me for the next year or so. So everything that I post will be during the week while the kids are in school. Obviously, I know that that's not good for those of you who have to work. So especially looking for people to host things on the weekends, because I am not able to do that. And you don't need to ask me permission to post your event. Just go to the page. I think I called it New England Cross Stitch Meetups or something, but like I said, the link will be below. And post away. And hopefully we can generate a lot of excitement for stitching in this area as much as there is excitement in other areas of the country. So that was a long way of saying that I got together with stitchers on Tuesday, and I worked on Jessie. So I'm just going to show her to you briefly. She's coming along. This is basically the top. There are 3 rows of initials here that I am doing in eyelets. The original was not stitched in eyelets. They were cross-stitched, so don't let eyelets scare you. For those of you who might not know, this is the chart that I purchased the antique sampler. I charted it up, and there's a link in the Jessie Robertson video that I did so that you can download the chart and stitch it too. So I've got this row of initials and another row of initials, and then of the large initials, and then there's a couple more rows of alphabet, which should go really fast. The eyelets are not going really fast, and then I can get to the good stuff. So I'm excited about how she's turning out. I'm loving the colors. Yeah, not much else to say about Jessie other than plug it along. The other thing that I have started to work on, I've shown this before. I'm not going to take it out of the hoop, but this was a Save the Stitch that Little One and I found at a thrift store in Ohio, Amish country, right before StitchCon. And I took it out because I wanted to finish it before Christmas. I had no idea when we bought it what we were going to do with it, how we were going to finish it, because it's really not my decorating style. But it was so close to being done that I didn't just want to leave it on the thrift store shelf. And I also recognized that it was a Barbara Anna piece. So anyway, originally it was done on white Aida. and none of the snow was showing. So I was looking at it the other night, and I decided to give it a bath and RIT dye, just tan RIT, and I loved the color. The problem, and then I knew this was going to happen. I thoroughly expected to have to do this, but everywhere where there's white stitching, it is now tan. And the white was the only color that was affected, but you just couldn't see it on the white background, so I didn't want to work on it if you couldn't see it. So what I have done is I've actually gone over all of the snow in B5200. The stitching was not good. Like originally, the stitching was not good. Most of the time, the stitches are crossed in the opposite way that I stitch. But sometimes they were stitched right. Most of the little motifs up here and around are in the wrong spot. Like there were lots of counting errors. It was so bad that I actually had to take a couple of the snowflakes out because they weren't even close to being symmetrical. It was really obvious that they were bad. So I took those out, and you can see here where I had to take a leaf out, and the RIT dye didn't get underneath there because I dyed it before I took the stitches out. But when I stitch over with the proper stitches in the proper place, that will all be covered. So basically, this is a Barbara Anna. I forget the name of it. It appeared in 3 different issues of Cross Stitch and Needlework, I think is the name of it. I found the second issue on eBay for $2.50, including shipping. So I will be able to finish this off, no problem. The second row had the second issue had the middle row. Thankfully, the first row was mostly done, so I've just been able to go over the stitches that were already there. I had to fill in, and I just kind of winged it here. And then Helen's got the last issue with the bottom row. So I am going to be able to finish this. I am thrilled that you can now see the white. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to a little one about it. She saw this square down here, and she claimed that was hers. She was going to stitch that one. Like I said, it's not our decorating style. So I'm thinking that instead of framing it or making a pillow out of it, I'm thinking of turning it into a project bag. So we'll see. It's a good size, so it would probably be one of the only project bags I have that would fit an 11-inch Q-snap. So I'm thinking that's the direction I'm going to go with it, but little one will have to approve that idea. I am still loving the ball tip needles. So I encourage you, if you haven't tried them, it's worth it. Give it a shot. I find that the threads tangle way less for some reason. I don't know why that is. This is a needle minder that I made from an ornament set at Walmart. They actually, I've got a couple of them. This one that I'm using on Jessie also came from an ornament set at Walmart, and they're flat, so it's nice and easy to attach magnets. And I put little organza bows in where the hangers were attached, and they're cute. So that's it as far as my whips go, my active whips. I have more whips than this, but I'm not actively working on them. My goal is to keep working on Jessie, and then as soon as my magazine comes in the mail, I will get working on the second row and finish up the Barbara Anna piece before Christmas. And that's it. My only other immediate plans are that I want to get going on this piece. Now this is Heartstring Samplery. I've showed it to you before, Beth Twist, and I am changing it up. And so I've gotten this far, which is as far as I was the last time you saw it. What I need to do is spend some time figuring out how I'm filling in all of these blank spots. As it is stitched now, it will fit into a standard, either a 10 by 13 or 11 by 14, I forget which. So now I just need to fill in the blank spots. So I need to spend some time figuring out how I'm going to fill in the blank spots and get back to stitching this one. This was my Sunday stitch, and I would stitch on it every Sunday, and then I got distracted and had things I wanted to finish, so I want to get back to this. I don't necessarily want to, I mean, I would like to finish it as soon as possible, obviously, but if I don't finish it by the end of the year, I don't mind carrying it over. That's not a huge deal. I still have my Newport piece that I'm hoping to work on sometime in December, which is the next time we will get down to Newport. That one's almost done too, so I'm really hoping I can finish that one by the end of the year. But again, that's going to depend on how much time we actually get to spend in Newport. And then I have one ornament that I want to stitch from the Just Cross Stitch ornament edition. I want to do the one from my big toe. That won't take any time at all. I've got some subbing days coming up, so I'm thinking that I'll be taking that one to school with me and finishing it up. And I think that's it. I hope that I will be able to do a video before Frugal Empire, which is November 15th, 16th, 17th. But if not, I plan to take the Heritage Sampler that I started working on. I started it at StitchCon. It's going much quicker than I thought, so I kind of put it aside and haven't been working on it because I realized it wasn't going to take me as much time as I thought it was. And I can't finish that in 2019. That has to be a 2020 stitch because we're still waiting on my husband's official retirement day. And so I think that's going into the sampler. So I won't be able to finish it until we know what day that's going to be. And yeah, that's it for stitching. And then in the near future, sometime in December, when the snow starts to fly, if the snow starts to fly, I will be working on Scenic Farm, as are many of you, because that has been re-released. So I was excited that Dimensions decided to re-release that because it's a great chart. It drives me crazy having to stitch with more than one thread, but it is what it is. It's going to be beautiful when it's done. So I think that's it. What am I at? Oh, 18 minutes. Very short. There have been shorter Flosstubes, but that's okay. So, like I said, join the Facebook group for the New England Stitchers. If you are in this area, we would love to either have you post, or even if you know of classes that people might want to attend in the area with the local shops. Anything that's stitchy related that involves gathering stitchers together, I would love to have you post so that we can really be an active group and get to know each other in person. So with that, I will wish you all fair winds and following seas. Bye, Flosstube.